intros.
Okay, all right. Then I will do that, and we'll see how this goes. Hey everyone. I'm not on screen right now. We got enough handsome black men up here, right? Choose which one is your favorite. Put them up on a calendar, right? We should get like an all black everything calendar going. Yeah.
I was gonna look
and
In June.
we gotta make you. Okay, we got. We do this for the people. We do this for the ladies. But anyway, this is all black everything roundtable. And we're kind of trying to an open format here, and see how this works. So, the first topic that we were going to talk about, I'll introduce it, but whether we stick with it or not, you guys decide. So, topic one was Damar Hamlin is a football player who unfortunately suffered a cardiac arrest from the field. He is now back and making appearances in public as he recovers. There is now a theory that the person who has been making these appearances is a clone of Damar Hamlin, who actually died shortly after leaving the game. This theory has been spreading in many circles, including the black community. It has echoes of COVID conspiracy theories, which were very popular in black spaces. Why do you think a story like this has gained traction? Should its popularity be concerning? Are black spaces especially vulnerable to conspiracy theories? So we won't do intros or anything. You guys can jump in and give your opinion and all that, and we'll see where we go.
I just think the goalposts are funny. The first he was dead, then he wasn't dead, then it was COVID that did it, then it wasn't COVID that did it, and now he's a clone. It's just like this weird. These weird kind of
did it again.
But
like
yeah,
COVID redid it.
But yeah,
because
COVID
now they
did
had to
do
replace
it.
him with a clone.
And you think like, I'm sorry, the NFL is greedy. The NFL doesn't have that kind of like cover up money that they'd waste to make a clone of Damar Hamlin. They would rather like fabricate like a woman who alleges the sexual assault of Peyton Manning. They'd waste like millions of dollars on making sure that woman doesn't have a life outside of those four walls, like before they would make a clone of a black man.
Right. He's like, Damar Hamlin was like a 6th-round pick. Like the thing is, they don't even recognize. They could have brought up any nigga with dreads and a goatee. They didn't even have to put. Where do we get clone money from? Yeah. Like they would have thought it was the same one.
Damar could have been a piece of shit too, and put up like Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman's just waving, and then everybody else, and it's like. They brought up a clone there, and it's like, no, that was just. I said Richard Sherman. Excuse me. It's like they could have put any black person. It's like, oh, a black quarterback with dreads. That's like half the position right there. Save like 5, if that.
Wait, so does that mean I'm a contender? Since I'm a black guy with dreads?
You could have. You could be Damar.
Do you play corner? Do you play corner? That's like the uniform. Dreads, 6'2", skinny jeans. The quarterback uniform.
Yeah, I ain't vouching no skinny jeans though. Fuck, I ain't wearing that.
And then if you go to the gym, you end up being a safety. It's like.
Yeah, he's not even. My thing is, he's not even a Hall of Famer. Like, why would they spend all that money on him? Like, he's just a regular good player. Like, he's just solid at his role. That's it.
I ain't even hating because he's hurt, but Damar Hamlin's not even like necessarily what you would call a good player. He's not a starter. He ended up falling into the position this year because of injuries. Like I said, he was a 6th-round pick that got injured. I hope he gets paid. Don't get me wrong. Like he's made he's made a recognizable name now that hopefully like something comes from it. But it's not he was like on like star status.
I do want to see if I do want to see if we can get the other parts of this particular question at least taken care of. I specifically want to know, are black spaces especially vulnerable to conspiracy theories? I
wanted to add one little thing. So I didn't, the first time I heard about this was about right after it happened from my conservative aunt. And it was an article saying how young athletes are suddenly falling down and almost dying. And it has to be because of vaccines.
Okay. So
yeah, and that's been
happening for forever.
So when you get into church circles and there's a lot of black people going to church and watching conservative news, so it does hit the black community, and black people don't tend to trust anything when it comes from the government. So it's kind of a perfect storm.
I think they trust the news, which is crazy.
Something that's kind of weird too. I don't know how many times y'all run into this where it's like there's clearly just black people on the internet just fucking around on something, and then there's people just watching it, treating it like it's serious. And like you'll have something where like the whole fucking superpowers meme, right? Where it's like black people are gonna get fucking superpowers on, was it December 22nd or whatever? And then like it's just all the tourists like, wait, I woke up, I didn't get any powers. Who got powers? And then you just got somebody just making some shit up, and then another person making some shit up, and there's like probably just like that one Alex Jones enjoyer who's just like, you see, like it is real. It's like, and
they're gonna get powers and they're gonna destroy us.
And that man is fucking it up for all of us. Like,
but yeah, I think black people, to answer your question, right, I think black people are like probably especially susceptible to some conspiracy theories, just because, like I said, like the thing is, there's throughout history, there are a lot of reasonable things that we weren't supposed, like that we were lied, the black people were lied to. Like,
what were they called? This
Tuskegee experiments.
Thank you.
Tuskegee.
I mean, that's
one.
Right, that's the go-to, but that's not the only like place.
Yeah,
where,
no,
like,
that I was just giving the main example that you majorly used.
For sure, but like, so like niggas have a reasonable they have a reasonable background that creates the distrust in systems and like government. But
there was
like
Black Wall Street and burned down.
The response
that actually happened.
Anything
things that have actually happened end up causing more future generations to be completely distrustful of the government. I understand that, and
I mean, it's more than just what happened with Black Wall Street. It's also when it comes to like the Civil Rights Act that has still fundamentally screwing us over. Not in the way that you think I'm saying, but in
we
the
got
way
a woke
that
nigga in here right now.
I'm not
screw us over.
Okay, so here's how I see it. It's the way that the government basically uses the black vote, and then you had the media keep on spinning shit around, and then you have a lot of black people still believe what the media says and keep entrusting the government. Don't believe anything anybody else says. That's basically what I'm going to.
I will say that like the fear mongering that black people don't vote, that's a conspiracy theory. That's definitely a conspiracy theory. Like you'll have the Democrat establishment every fucking cycle going, that's why we got to get more black people to vote. And it's like, how many more? Like how? Like what? Like
we seen what happened in 2020, right? Like it was literally the black vote that got Joe Biden in office.
We literally carry
black and women.
and then
I thought it was the white female.
And then the Republican voted black men goes up from like 8% to 9%, and then the whole
what are black men doing?
Oh yeah, both sides lost my thing. What up? What? Why? It's like,
even though it's just
Griffin,
a return to the meme.
Griffin, did you have something to say previously? I saw like you were trying to break in. No, you don't have anything? Okay, that's fine. All right, just making space for Taj. Anyone else? The King or Andre?
I think that. Yeah, I think that. Black
people. Sorry. Is Andre? Is your mic working?
Yeah, I've got it on push to talk.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
just wanted to make sure. All right, so we'll go to Taj, and then if Andre wants to jump in.
You're muted.
Yeah, I think that any marginalized group is susceptible.
No, I can hear him just fine.
He's lagged. He lagged.
He's doing the Taj delay.
Give him time.
I'm about to get frustrated. All right, so I think that any marginalized group is like susceptible to being brought into conspiracy theories and things like that. Like, I think conspiracy theories, in essence, are just coping mechanisms. Reality really sucks for a lot of people, and like believing in some sort of thing that like holds people back or something that sucks people down is something that's like really attractive mentally. We're all rational beings, so to rationalize things like that is just like a really attractive thing for a lot of people, especially when you're shot down on really hard in society.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like,
it is a good premise.
Did y'all see the like electric rocks on Twitter? The nigga said that like was discovered in Africa.
Yeah.
It was like, bro, America's about to steal the resources. Wakanda is real. We gotta protect the electric rocks. I don't know what they thought we was going to do with some electric rocks.
No, Bam. No, what was crazy was the dude was like, Wakanda isn't built off of just the resources. It's built off the Shuris. We got to protect our Shuris, okay? We got to protect our intellectuals and our intellectual property. And
We
then
gotta protect our
it
little
somehow
petas.
led
You
into
feel
this
me?
dude talking about you need to get an LLC. I said, what the fuck? I was like, God damn.
LLC Twitter made this up.
Man, what a twist.
It's a twist.
Like I will say it might be related. Like something I did find interesting, because I've been a bad boy, and I've been watching the FBA's and ADOS fight, and it was really funny watching basically like news media fall into the trap that like all these like people with ADOS in their hashtags are actually Russian bots, and that was like the only part of the Twitter files that I thought was funny. Because basically it said that was bullshit, despite the fact that was already like that one article that like was basically saying that like Yvette and a bunch of other people were bots, and then that got backpedaled, and they've just been like the ADOS community, like the internal, like that like internal block, they're actually people for the movement. They've been victory lapping on that bot shit for like months
I
now.
have no clue what the fuck we're talking about.
Okay,
Basically,
so look.
Yeah, go for it.
So look, so there's a group of people, okay? Group of I consider both groups conservative at the end of the day. Conservative black people, and so you have the ADOS, which is the American descendants of slavery. Okay, they believe they're the, that's how they identify themselves. They don't want to be called black. They don't want to be called African American. They want to call American descendants of slavery, and they believe they are fundamentally different than any other group of black people that got here later. Okay, we need to be identified as American descendants of slavery. All right, boom, you got that. Bet. So then you have FBA, okay, foundational Black Americans. All right, it's almost damn near the same thing. It's just like the leader.
All right, makes perfect sense.
And the problem was that
niggas don't want everybody. They can't be led by everybody. Okay,
yeah.
Everybody got to be a leader. So that the faction happen that normally happens in a group. You know what I'm saying? Like the nine of us that's here. There's one. Like if we were all ADOS, like there's gonna be one dude that goes off and goes FBA. Like that's how it happened. Like,
well, I think
like non-American black people, like how do they feel about like black people in the Caribbean or like?
Well, that was the thing that got caused a splinter. Well,
they took our jobs.
I'm gonna be as charitable as possible. I'm gonna try really hard here. What happened is that you would have people because it's like the same thing within most like things on Twitter where it's like just because like somebody puts ADOS in their bio on Twitter doesn't necessarily mean they're for like the totality, whatever that movement is. No different than like BLM, whatever, and so often. But there was and there is a lot of like anti-immigrant rhetoric, specifically anti-black immigrant rhetoric on Twitter. It's just like rampant. And then it gets lost, or it did get lost in certain arguments that Yvette Carnell did, because she is the CEO of the ADOS Foundation. So like one of the things that people try to drag her to say that she's like anti-immigrant is basically saying that like there's a lineage claim when it comes to these problems, and there's just certain black people that aren't of that lineage, so they're not going to know exactly what that looks like. So like Obama got dragged, Kamala Harris got dragged, and a couple other people like what's his name, a couple of like celebrities got dragged, like some celebrity rappers,
the Drakes, the J. Coles, them niggas got dragged.
And but then
all you want.
But then like they would
Savage.
Like their critiques got roped into.
Wait. You would choose 21 Savage over J. Cole? Is that what that's heard?
Wait.
No. You made a leap in logic that was not American.
Yeah.
Well, but anyway, like basically what ended up happening is that a bunch of news syndicates said that like the ADOS movement were just bot accounts, and these are just bots being anti-black. And then this one dude published a whole ass article about it that was like based off a really shoddy study, so shoddy that they end up getting redacted. And then like ADOS Foundation and that core started victory lapping. Then the Twitter files dropped that said that like essentially that like the bot account situation isn't exactly that big of a deal. I'm paraphrasing it here to save your time. But then they started victory lapping again. But it is kind of interesting that there's like I'm sure that's like it's unreasonable to believe that there aren't bots on Twitter, but like I don't think basically it's coming out that's not as rampant or as wide as like people initially thought. That turns out there's just a lot of assholes on Twitter. It's like, I mean, yeah.
I think early on, like
Mm-hmm.
I think Tariq Nasheed did buy some bot accounts.
Oh yeah.
And then like it kind of saying came like self-fulfilling. Like actual niggas bought into the bots, and then it became like a real thing. It was like this bot over here, like, and then it became real things.
But then like I mean I don't know how many of y'all are deep on Black Twitter, but there's also just like people just being called bots, because like sometimes people just be tweeting shit, and it's like, are you a human? like there was a tweet the other day of like this dude, this just like black dude on Twitter. I'm sure y'all saw it, where he was basically like writing this like white nationalist manifesto, the 17 thread about how black people are inferior to white people. And I just did like a quote tweet. I just like, we get it, you like white women. But then like when you look at the comments, there's just like people just like either going off on him, saying like, man, this is ridiculous, but other people just like, this can't be a real person. Like normal people don't write 17 thread pages. Like I'm saying, like normal, like there are black men who wake up every day, right, just liking white people and liking white women and just having normal days. They go, they eat lunch, dinner, breakfast, but they don't go on Twitter saying, this is why I believe the white race is superior. Look at all the advancements of technology. It's like, bro, what do you chill? So like I don't know, like that's where I'm at. Where like I don't know if some of these accounts are human or they are actually bots. But
Andre, we go over Andre. I want to make sure if you have anything to add, go ahead. And then Griffin. Oh, we can barely hear you now.
You might barely hear you.
Again, my guy.
Sorry about that. I said, firstly, I don't even know what the hell the conversation's about. I kind of got lost once they started talking about Twitter.
Oh God, you just went booty on the mic.
You got a staggy man right there.
So let me see if it fixed that.
There you go.
Right there.
Yeah. See, I don't know much about Twitter. Don't.
Now it's
use
an
Twitter.
echo.
So
no, it's fine. It's fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're rocking with this. Don't.
That's because the damn thing hit the wire hit my my voice box, turned the echo plug functional. But
Fancy.
yeah, I don't know much about the Twitter stuff. And as far as the clone thing, I think Smooth said it first. Best, it's kind of dumb that somebody would even fall into the clone type of stuff. I mean, you'd have to assume that the NFL is sitting around there with clones of people, and you have to think about it. If you clone somebody, you're not cloning their life experiences, you're not cloning their training, you're not cloning their education, anything. So they would have had this kid up in the freezer just pumping him with information for years for the off chance that this guy has a heart attack and dies in the middle of the court, or not court, the field. So it's a crazy theory. It's my first time hearing it. I'm
They
sure
on Gucci too.
I'm sure you'll see a bunch of
Yeah, they
Then
said that
again,
about Gucci.
Then again, they've been saying that about Michael Jackson and Tupac for years. So
Well, I was gonna say, what if it's like a MF Doom situation?
don't know who that is.
Oh, where
Okay.
he died when people didn't know if he was dead for real.
Well, no. MF Doom would send people in his place to perform for him, and people didn't know
Well,
it.
he did. He sent somebody had a whole ass concert.
With that mask, it was pretty easy to do it.
Yeah. So if you got a lookalike or people that, like we were just saying before when it first started, you could get just about any black dude with dreads, the 6'2", and nobody would really know the difference. Nobody knew who this dude was until this thing happened, and it became a talking point for anti-vaxxers. So what if, to combat anti-vax, they are parading an imposter?
I don't think that's any remotely believable, because
I'm still manning it.
You'd have to assume that you just go pick some random guy with dreadlocks that knows all the football plays. And,
Well, he ain't played yet.
He ain't playing.
True, this is true. And in Buffalo too. Maybe.
So wait.
I'm not
Here's the real
saying
theory, though, right? Aren't your memories like recorded electrical patterns in your brain? If you made a clone late enough in that person's life, wouldn't they technically have some of that because of their the recreation of the brain matter? Wouldn't those electrical patterns be recorded?
Did you just come out of a Johnny Depp movie? That shitty ass
no,
Johnny Depp movie where he like put his
What kind of
console in it?
inception level shit you on?
I've actually,
Was that
no, man,
shitty
I'm
movie with Johnny Depp where he like it's like his body's dying and he's on the internet and shit? What's that called? It was
No, I'm
really
just-
bad.
Basically, upload his brain onto
Transcendence, transconscious. I don't fucking know.
Black
Yeah,
Mirror.
something like that.
I've
It was a
actually
horror
seen
movie. I don't
some
remember.
theories on that. There was an experiment done many years ago because before it became inhumane to do these types of experiments by a Russian scientist.
It's always Russia.
He
Damn.
basically yes, it is always Russia, or it was the Germans or the Chinese, one of the two. But what he did was the Russians were trying to create a perfect
You know,
human
just some
growth
passive
by
xenophobia.
crossbreeding apes and mankind together. But
The
this,
fuck?
And they
but
just made
this,
a nigga.
this one particular Russian agent, wanted to see if Russian or Soviet soldiers at the time were being killed, if they could take their brains out and put it in the brain of an ape and it still be functioning.
Yo, there's so many things wrong with that. What the fuck?
So he would cut the heads off of monkeys and take their brains out and put it in the brains of dog bodies to see if it would would work.
Wait, what are the dogs?
Isn't
have to
that a
do with the
movie?
apes?
I feel like this is a movie again.
They
These are
were-
animal trials.
I
They
feel like
were
we're, I feel like we're in the plot of something.
kind of cross putting like they needed a test subject. They wasn't going to just go kill random Russian people because even
does it
Stalin was against this. Even Stalin was like, if I find out that you're doing this, I'm going to kill you. And he did. He found out and he killed the scientist.
You sure this isn't Germany? Because like I know the technology that we used to do the original heart transplant was fueled off of German technology from like them inventing the vacuum pumps in order to keep disconnected bits of tissue still pumping with oxygen and blood and stuff like that. So like that sounds more like a German thing than a Russian thing. I'm 90% sure that I did fucking.
I don't know. Putting a monkey's brain in a dog's body sounds pretty Russian to me.
No,
Black
no,
Ops
no.
2 Nazi
It sounds
zombies.
cartoony.
Technically, they both.
No, I
did.
know the Germans.
Sound like
did
you was
this
on a
for-
budget and you ran out of monkeys.
I don't think Germans would be that rudimentary.
They did though. They 100% with dogs.
They did- they
There's
did-
actual
they did. The
documentation
Russians
of
did
them
do,
keeping dog heads and hearts alive.
The
Yeah, I seen
Germans
the
did
dog
do
head
things
alive.
like
Yeah,
that.
that makes sense, but not the brain.
What's the? I don't. That seems like apples and oranges. Like if they're
No,
doing one.
well,
Why can't we
okay.
compare fruit?
You can get a pig's heart and get it to work in a human being. So
Yeah.
certain body parts can be interchangeable. But the way the neural network works, you could not assume you could
that's
reconnect
the-
a brain to another body.
That
That's
was
just it's cartoony.
This is rudimentary science. This is them first doing this back in like the
yeah.
like
This
you hadn't
was
had
this was back in
organs
the
first at that point.
19.
Yeah, but one makes sense, the other one doesn't.
1950s and 1940s. This was.
Mm.
It don't make sense because of our understanding of it now, but at that time they did not have that understanding. You got to think like this is the early days of germ theory. People didn't even understand what bacteria was, let alone how neural pathways work.
Well, you get a human heart or whatever heart you want from whatever animal or whatever organ you want from whatever animal that's dead already or whatever the case may be, and you compare them, see if they seem compatible. Oh, they seem to have similar functions. They have ventricles, this bicameral, the whole deal, and you see if this is compatible. And you try it. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, moving forward. But with a brain, like I can't see that ever work. How do you even connect it?
Well, no, I'm not saying it would ever work. I'm just arguing that the Germans did it. There's like actual documentation of this stuff.
Y'all will
Yeah.
be
Well, I
way
mean,
more-
the
I would
story
believe
you're
y'all way more
telling
if you
is the
did it with a
Russians
kooky
did it
hat.
as well.
Yes, both of them did it technically because at the time, I don't know who got the idea from who, but Hitler also had the idea of creating super soldiers from crossbreeding the apes and humans. Like the Russians.
Damn, that's how we got Captain America.
God damn.
I
knew
wish
it was
they-
Low key,
I
that would
wish
be
I
a
had my
good.
goofy hat.
That'd be a good bit if it just turns out that the whole origin of Captain America is just eugenics.
I thought it was.
No, I'm
I
saying
was like,
like they actually just like go there though, not like allude to it. We're like, yeah, this is pretty
Oh.
eugenics adjacent.
I mean,
Like
blonde
Cap
hair,
has a
blue eyes.
file, and it's like, why do I have like myself wrestling monkeys, and why do I not remember it? Oh, don't worry about it. Just
But the point that I was trying to
came
get
back to
across
Egypt.
is that the test were unsuccessful. They were able to get the brain into the other vessel, but it couldn't fire off the synapses. It couldn't trace back the memories, and the biggest issue was it didn't live long enough. The brain wouldn't function long enough. I mean, they were able to take the head off the monkey, put it onto another animal's body, and it would function for maybe 2 seconds, and it would die. And so it was a really sick practice. But now when you're talking about
Look at God.
downloading a person's consciousness, something similar to what happened in SAO when what's his name, Akihiko
Full
Naito
dive.
Downloaded his consciousness at the end of the thing. I don't know if we're there yet with the technology.
No, we're not.
But
I mean, the
it
theory
might be
works.
possible.
Wait,
It might be
wait a minute.
Wait,
Why are y'all taking this seriously? How did we get here? We're trying to justify like what it started with. We got to go.
No,
back
we're
to the
saying,
start.
I
like-
would rather go back to
what
the
I'm
idea
understanding,
of-
Dre's saying that like we're basically saying like to get to that point where like the amount of resources, there's just like a lot of shit we got to figure out before it's possible.
Yeah.
They could have just put
I wouldn't be
they could
surprised.
like again the easiest part is just put another black person in front of it with dreads and just like
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with all this because we still don't really know what's going on with Area 51 and with
This
with like
no.
there could be a whole bunch of things going on in Area 51 that they are just not
what's
telling
in Area 51?
Nah,
Experiment.
bro. Let them tell us.
Bro.
good. We just said black people aren't conspiratorial, and then it's like, oh, let's let the panel cook for a little bit.
Yeah, let them spit.
Right.
Let this man cook.
Like, for real, man.
Hold on.
Like there could be aliens there. There could be
No.
extraterrestrials,
No,
there could be
remember?
spacecraft,
Do you not
there could be
remember the raid?
all that.
Do you remember the raid that when they all went? No one was able to clap any alien chicks, so no, there's no aliens.
First
Aliens.
of all,
They
they
want
went
you to think.
they went to the wrong area. That's what they went.
Exactly. That
No,
was
it wasn't even that they went to the wrong area. They literally told them boys, run in this Naruto line if you want to. We laying all of y'all down.
This is,
And they had buddies out there with the chopper.
listen,
With the belt feed.
What's funny though?
and you know what you didn't
Just
see?
lay
You
them
didn't
down.
see? You didn't see a nigga in sight because we are not that stupid. Like, oh,
I'm sure that
we're
probably
gonna
was,
run
but-
Naruto
Yeah,
style
there was.
to in front of government agents. We could just do that in our own communities. We don't gotta go all the way to Area 51 if we want to get killed by people who get checks from the government. Shit.
That wasn't. that-
No
that-
one
that
crossed the
wasn't
line of
thing. I still remember-
scrimmage.
Yeah.
I still remember like Naruto run while screaming like Goku in front of the Capitol. I just remember that being an event at one point. It was so dumb. But
Man, I'm still tripping off during all of that. You had what?
If you teach
Batman
your
walking
children
through the
to be
smoke.
scared of the
You
grass,
had
they're
like
scared
this
of the
other
grass.
like dude in like superhero stuff. Like, bro, there was so much wild stuff that happened during COVID and the BLM protests and all that. Like, I was just like, yo, 2020 was a wild year.
Yes.
Like, you gonna put that mug on replay? You like, bruh, they was bugging. We might need to stay in the house. Like, they might.
This is
need
why,
to keep
like-
some of y'all in the house.
This is why, like, I don't think black people are like. I'm gonna be really. I might get in trouble if I say this, but I don't think black people are that
Okay.
conspiratorial. I think we're curious, but I don't think we're curious enough to confirm the hypothesis. Like, we'll follow along with these white folks going over the Area 51, and it's like, you coming with us, Dre? Nah, I'm good.
Nah,
You know,
I'll stay in the car. Don't worry.
that reminds me of
I'll
a
be the
joke
getaway
that,
driver. Don't worry.
I'm gonna go
I mean, all
park the car.
Lavelle
Our
Crawford did
favorite,
this joke
our
at
favorite
stand-up.
conspiracies actually have nothing to do with America. It's always about Africa, it's especially specifically Egypt. Niggas don't know what's going on over in Egypt, but we know it's something. Something's up in them beard. It's like, actually, if you want to know where the first cell phone came from, it was actually a black man in Egypt, born in the year 1710. His name was Celius Phonus.
I heard a good conspiracy theory that Harriet Tubman wasn't real, and that she was just created to keep like black people in order and like have a hero figure. I forget what channel I saw that. I watched it on stream. That shit was fucking cursed.
Don't you like Uncle Sam for niggas?
There's a,
Yeah.
there's a fun
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
There was a
Paul
fun conspiracy
Bunyan.
theory about Egyptian hieroglyphs because of how they look. It literally is just that everything constantly resets, and the origin point is Egypt. And all the hieroglyphs of like that look like a helicopter. That's why we have helicopters, because there's a hieroglyph of helicopters.
I
From
believe
That isn't-
Egypt.
Wait, what do these people
Oh
do
yeah,
about
I remember. I remember
wouldn't
that,
even
but
talk to
they
Egypt.
But what's
they
that, Griffin?
purposely they debunked that in the same show though. I remember that.
Yeah, I
because they
know.
talked
It's just
about
fun.
it.
No,
They're like,
yeah, I
they're
know.
like,
But
no,
there
these
was
are
a.
flying saucers and this is helicopters and they had
Yeah.
this is- like
Oh, that,
but
no,
then,
there's a-
then,
There
then
are
they
still
de-
people who believe it.
then they
There's
debunked
a-
it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the
Would you
reason
better
why this looks
disrespect
like a helicopter is because
Yeah.
time just kind of messed up the hieroglyph over time.
that's actually.
Oh,
there's-
Cleopatra
there's
is black.
one-
That's another good one. That's a real banger.
Who
Wait a
was it?
minute.
That's a banger conspiracy theory.
Which
The-
Cleopatra?
That Cleopatra is actually
Cleopatra.
the
Oh, the
Cleopatra.
Greek Cleopatra. Yeah.
Yeah, that she's actually black.
I think the funniest one is Yakub.
Or like,
Oh my
yeah.
god, no! You going down the fucking best spot ever.
It's hilarious to me. I don't know.
Yakub.
I love it, man. Reading about how he created all the evil in the world, that shit, I'd laugh for a solid 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay,
apparently
okay.
those-
I'm just curious. We're all rational people here.
No.
What's the conspiracy theory you're the closest on? This is a safe space. What's the one that you like?
no,
You
no,
like,
no,
I don't believe it.
Okay, so here's why I'll.
The one conspiracy.
No,
the
my
one
Blaze, my
conspiracy
nigga
that-
Blaze got spit.
All right,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Now, the one conspiracy that I do see a lot of people, even black people, say like we are actually only using 10% of our brains. If we was using
Oh, God.
at least 30 or 40%, we would be lifting up fucking buildings and shit.
Facts.
Yeah,
No.
but that has been
Well,
debunked. We're using 100% of our brain at a time, but only 10% goes to, I believe, our functions and stuff like that.
Don't believe Razor. That's his white half talking. He don't want you to believe. He don't want you to know.
Whoa.
We are using all of our brain all the time, except for some people that can't walk and chew gum at the same time.
Don't believe Kyle. That's his Asian side talking.
The only one I'm close on is that Dr. Pierce was like, and I'm saying close. I'm saying like about as close as the Los Angeles Rams re-signing Odell Beckham Jr. Like I am far from that, but like Dr. Pierce being the replacement for MLK. That one I'm like, there's a lot of evidence. I'm like, for those of you who don't know, there's like a conspiracy theory that's kind of confirmed but not, that the FBI already had a replacement for MLK if he were to die, and it was Dr. Samuel Pierce, who's I forget, he was a God, what was he? I think it was like a representative or something, if I remember correctly.
Wait, I'm confused. What's this conspiracy thing? Like I know there's like documentation of like the FBI sending letters to MLK telling him like kill himself if we better than what they would do to him.
Oh, that's
Like
confirmed. That's confirmed.
that. Yeah.
That happened.
Like,
Yeah. Well, hold on. They
Well,
didn't
what-
say kill himself. They didn't say kill
No,
himself. Like, what are you gonna
Threatening
do
letters.
if we send this? You know?
so wait, what's the conspiracy? How are you gonna replace him exactly?
Like replace him as the leader of the civil rights movement. That like,
Yeah, so then they could get a more favorable outcome.
yeah. That I'm close on. But again, like a lot of us we're gonna know, like when those MLK files drop in next year after, it's gonna confirm a lot of shit. All those people who think MLK is a womanizer, they're gonna have to either confirm deeper or walk a lot of shit back.
Too late for that. You already had some female podcasters.
Bro, I hate that narrative so
talking.
much.
That's like MLK.
I hate the fuck out of it. I saw this one divester lady on I'm friends with her on Instagram, right? I know her in real life. I'm friends with her, and she posted this one thing about some chick. They're like, MLK was a decent man, but he wasn't a great man because he cheated on his wife. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck. if he cheated on his wife.
That's what
You're
I'm
trying to
talking
like
about.
denigrate this man. Like,
Like,
yo, I hate that shit so much.
Y'all don't say
Well,
that
here's a
about
question.
president.
Like, actually, Tad, can I ask you a
Yo,
question?
exactly. I don't say about nobody except for MLK. Oh, he
Man,
smoked cigarettes. He
presidents be
cheated on his wife.
having
I don't
hoes.
give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, I have a question maybe for all you guys. Like, let's say he did, right? Would you
gives a
feel any different knowing that, like, let's say, like, it's found out that the MLK did, like, have relations while he was on different, I was about to say tours, but on just, like, different visitations in different states, right? Let's say he did do that. But let's say also it is true that we only found that out through information from the FBI. Would you feel any different about it?
My only
No. And also, my counter argument would be how would that take away from what he did?
Sure.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and the message that he
like,
delivered.
my only thought would be he should have fucked more people. Trying to change the world. Enough.
He had the words. He deserved all of it.
Yeah, because like the one thing that I just find so weird about it is that like the only reason why we even have an idea that he is because of the feds. And it's like this weird like side Fed posting that people are doing every time they call him a womanizer. And it's like,
it's not like he was sticking Quaaludes in people's drinks or anything like that. Dude still did what he did, and he wasn't hurting anyone.
Yeah.
Except maybe his wife's feelings. So
What if like audio links dropped and this man was like talking down to these white women?
just
You
a
hear,
dog.
bitch? Yeah, just talking about like, yeah, man, my people, you've been having my people for generations. This is my payback from the mountaintop.
I think that's
From
what
all-
I think. There's a lot of like I'm just gonna make fun of some white people here. I think there's a lot of like OG, old guard, rural Southern white men who just unironically believe that. That's just like it doesn't matter what evidence they give. Like that's what the tape sounds like to them.
Like, so here's like a kind of personal question about that kind of shit. You ever been to a place where like you're like maybe one of like 15 fucking black dudes in the entire area, and you get approached by like some older white lady, and she's like, "Is it true?" Anybody ever had that scenario happen?
no.
Wait,
No,
My old ex asked me that question.
What?
before
Like
we-
ask weird sexual questions and
Are you a
shit?
bitch?
My question is,
Oh,
why
she wanted the meat.
why lady approaching all these black dudes?
They don't say
Granny
like
wanted that meat.
I've
getting
been in a
vibes.
situation, just not with that question.
I watched a movie like that once.
So like I used to live in Southern Indiana. Worst mistake of my fucking life. But like, bro, that kind of shit. Like, I feel like that's a huge part of all these like conspiracy theories about like fucking like I guess like insecure white dudes about like black dudes coming to like fuck your wives or something like that. And that's the only thing I can probably think about when Joe brings up the whole MLK thing.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, she definitely wanted to meet, but she didn't ask that question for no reason.
Got that
Oh,
shit.
so-
She was
no,
wondering
it's
if you
al-
were down.
It's also rumors or some news came out that said that the wife was apparently okay with it. Don't know that if that's true or not, but it's just a rumor that she wasn't
Better.
okay with that.
They just had an
He's
open
super
relationship.
progressive.
Yeah. He just doing more shit we should have already been doing before. It's great.
Big pimping.
I
I'm
don't
about
know.
to say you don't want that. If that was public knowledge, oh my god! Like, do you know what that would do? That might actually set us back as a people. if like if it came out that like Coretta Scott was polyamorous, imagine what niggas gonna say to their girlfriend.
no.
Like,
That's
bruh,
just
you
not-
think you better than Coretta Scott, bitch?
Yo, the manosphere would
I'm trying
have
to save
like
the world.
the black manosphere and all those like black like those red pill black men. They would have a field day. It'll be
Fresh and
Christmas.
fit.
It's like, what is this? We already got Brittany Renner. Are you telling me that we also get Coretta's poly? Yep. Like, and you know who's going to lead the charge in this movement? Iggy Azalea. What? It's just Christmas for us.
Damn it.
Fresh
Yeah,
and fit. Crazy with it.
If that's true, that's something we actually do need to cover up because it would be detrimental. Like it would set us back decades.
Actually, no. I think the
this
one
is what we
thing,
need to spend our clone money on.
yeah.
We need to clone Coretta to walk back that statement, so we can be all right.
Oh shit. Or some shit like.
So we're not going to talk about clones anymore? Cool.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to.
No, we ain't got
Clones,
to.
no,
was
I
just
like
making
to-
a joke.
Kinda-
It's
kinda
just good.
case in point.
The clone bit was literally just a it's stupid, whatever, but about conspiracies of shit that caused that conspiracy to begin at first. Why is the black community so susceptible to them, or why are people in general so susceptible to them, especially people who are lower on the economic scale?
Well,
Usually it's
I don't think
confirmation
that,
bias.
I don't think that.
Or
black
people believe conspiracies because they ain't
are-
got shit else better to do.
I mean,
I don't
conspiracy
think that
theories.
black people
Conspiracy
are
theories
anymore-
are fun. They
Well,
are funny.
Well,
Yeah, okay.
It can be fun, but
So-
when you actually get fully
Anybody
into
else.
it.
This April Fool's, well, for the last few April Fools, I have a habit of sending onion articles to my family members.
oh Lord,
What?
Oh no, don't.
This year, I got a reaction different. Well, yeah, this last year, I got a reaction different than any other year. They were freaking out.
Oh, they thought it was real.
What was the
No.
What was the article?
It was like stuff about AI and like other random things. They seem somewhat real, but if you really looked into it, you know it's hot garbage.
No,
Um,
you
they
talking
were
about the whole
confronted.
AI, the whole AI
Yeah,
about taking control? Is that what you're talking about?
No. Do you know what the Onion is?
Oh, like the art,
It's
Onion,
a
the
satirical
parody
newspaper.
article.
yeah.
They make parody articles. It's all jokes. There's nothing real in these articles.
Okay.
So I'm
Yeah.
sending them on April Fool's Day. These are the jokes. And my aunt's running up to my cousin and screaming at him, "Do you see what your cousin just sent me? Oh my God, I told you it's real. The Lord's coming back," and just freaking out.
Yeah.
And then he realized, he's like, "Don't send her articles like this anymore." And I'm getting this from all different family members like, "Is this real? Is this true? See, the government, you can't trust the government." I'm like, dude, it's just the Onion. Calm down.
What was it like the
Oh,
Mark
like-
of the Beast? Everybody's got to get the tattoo for Walmart. My granny's been saying that one since like 2003, and she said,
Well, it's that there's so much fake news going around right now. Nobody knows what to believe is real anymore because you're being told that every media is lying. So when you see something like that, you're thinking this is actually a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a big
Because
part of it.
everything's a thing.
I don't know, like I don't see this same kind of conspiratorial thing in like other countries. Like I've met a lot of people from Africa and like just Eastern Europe and stuff like that. And that's a thing that's specific to America is that we don't have basic political relevancy skills. Like how do I put it? Here in America, when you're going through high school and like early college and stuff like that, there's never a point in time in which you're taught to critically analyze information. So a lot of people just kind of like blindly walk into things all the time.
If you teach your
It's
children to be
something I see
scared
in my
of the
family
grass, they will be scared of the
constantly is
grass.
like their
Jimmy
entire
Lewis.
extent of what goes on aside from the presidential election is like what happens at church or like what happens
Sure.
at the job. No one ever talks about anything on a grander scale than that, and that's just like the natural setting here. So when people come across absolutely bizarre information, they don't have a frame of reference of what's actually going on in the world to even compare and contrast it to make it seem like, okay, here's what I know about the world. Here's this new shit. This new shit doesn't fit, so it has to be fake.
Thanks
It's
for the
just
sub,
Go ahead.
I think
But that's
Plaxo,
like
Federer,
media
and Fish
stuff, like-
Missile.
I was gonna say that's like media.
Oh shit, am I muted?
Like, well, not
Oh, yeah, I am
everybody, but
muted.
that's
What the
like
fuck?
more people than you.
They
would
should
think
pause
have-
at weird
have
times.
bad-
Thanks again for the sub sandwiches, everybody. Also, be sure to support the Patreon. So something I'm doing that's a little bit new to the Patreon. This is the part where I'm plugging my shit. Is you can hold on.
intelligent. Usually, the way they sort through information is good source, bad source.
All right, I'm back. So if you donate $5 or more or join my Patreon, you get a free crack at a topic. So if there's something that you want me to talk about, and you donate $5 or more bucks, or be a patron, your first like initial like subscription will allow you to send me a topic of your choice, and it could be something in reason that I can make a video about to research, and I'll do a video for y'all for that. So deeply appreciate that. It's also available to new subscribers. So sorry, all the resub army, you kings out there. So yeah, tell your friends, tell your loved ones. I'm doing a bit more content. I'm content driven now. I'm trying to take this channel a little bit more seriously because I recognize that I have a platform, so I gotta start treating it responsibly. All right. Anyway, say hi to YouTube, by the way. With that being said, I'm gonna go back in.
Actual article or source and give your opinion on it, which is what Tucker does. And this is where you get this just asking questions style of news reporting, and that's really misleading.
Mhm.
Yeah,
like Bam said, that could be with any source.
What
Like
are
I
they
remember that one article from the Root where they said Amber Heard losing to Johnny Depp is a huge impact to Black women. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Opinion.
Is
Sounds
this
like opinion.
no, this was not an opinion piece. She said she tries to make it that this is a little fact that Amber Heard losing to Johnny Depp was a huge impact to Black women, and Black women need to pay attention. She
How is
tried to
that
make
not an opinion?
She trying to make it, but she trying to make it a fact though. That's the thing.
Are there graphs showing how black women are affected by Amber Heard? Like, is there any sort of data
Heard
she can source
stonks?
to make it beyond a opinion?
Well, but the black and you didn't see?
Of an article, but it will be an opinion piece. Yeah.
You didn't see in the black stock market when the verdict came down, the black women's stocks went down. So black women's stocks went down, way down.
Yo, where can I see the charts for this market? I got to make some new investments.
Yeah, no. A lot of black men are investing in white women. It's a very safe market. Very safe market.
I've already got my model. We're good.
Damn, Razor made it. I made it weird, and then Razor found a way to make it weirder.
I can't with Joe.
I invest in the Asian women market. We're not on that. You know what I mean?
Hey, Amber Heard did not affect the Asian market one bit. It stayed steady.
Hey, you know what?
Especially among weeds.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord God. Oh,
My
yes, this
girlfriend
planet.
watches my stream. She's gonna hit me.
No,
for
but
that.
real talk. Like, am I the only one that confessed to conspiracy theory? I feel like kind of alone here.
I can't always think of one. I used to believe in the Bible. I mean,
damn.
That's the biggest conspiracy.
That was a big
right
one.
there.
Okay, all right.
Hey, the Bible's lit.
At least has some fun stories.
No, it has some wild ass
anywhere near this conversation. Cause shit.
Yeah, I ain't trying to do this tonight.
I have a conspiracy theory that I just remembered. But go for it. Sorry.
9/11. That is the one that I am like fully invested in.
Oh,
I'm not fully invested.
That it happened, right? You're fully invested in that it happened, right?
That one, yes, it did. One, it did happen, and two, it didn't happen the way that they said that it happened, and that there were bombs at the bottom of the building and all that other stuff.
So you're the one that believes like the false flag narrative part of it, right?
There's some level of, this is where I'm at with it. I believe there's some level of foul play in addition to that.
So when you say foul play, what do you mean?
Foul play as in people within America that did something to either gain politically or monetarily, or politically or monetarily. Americans did.
Okay, so here's one thing I can agree with you on that. Like, you know, the NSA, right? So 9/11 happened. 9/11 happened prior to the Patriot Act, and that's one thing I kind of agree upon is that we have documentation that the NSA had contact with the individuals who performed the 9/11 attack, like at least a week or two prior, which means they had like credible information about these people potentially planning this event. And I feel as though that the NSA, because in their records they had a very convenient power outage the day beforehand, so they couldn't communicate any of this information, which is fucking bizarre to me. So I feel as though it might have.
Can I get on that after you? I want to mention something after you finish.
Yeah, go ahead. So I feel as though the NSA might have let this kind of stuff slide to hide how much information they're really stealing from the average American, as well as allowing them to push legislation that expanded their powers further because you have the Patriot Act being passed after that. So I feel as though that's the big conspiracy there. They were, in a way, using what they knew was going to happen as a way to further expand government overreach.
I agree with Griff on that to a great degree, but the main thing, the morning I woke up and found out about 9/11, I was like, aren't there FAA protocols that if a plane goes off course to a certain degree, they're supposed to dispatch F-16s to take out that vessel? Like, that is the protocol, is it not? Come to find out conveniently, yes, this was always the protocol. That's why I woke up. I couldn't make that protocol up in my head that morning. So come to find out, there were no available resources because they were running drills for this exact same circumstance. So they were not able to respond conveniently. That's when I really wasn't feeling it.
I have another conspiracy theory I'd like to share to the court.
Sure.
I believe. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm memeing a little bit here, okay?
So, how much trouble are you trying to get in today, Joe?
I'm gonna get.
Let's go.
I might get in trouble on this one, baby. So, all right.
Cancel Joe Lewis.
If someone told me, if it came about that Carrie Lake is black, I believe it. I would believe it.
No.
What?
No.
Carrie
No?
Lake?
Carrie Lake is the
You
she
were
was
so
the.
wrong for that.
Am I wrong? Have you seen her though?
No.
Yes, and no.
She's
She's not allowed.
No,
But, like,
we
a
don't
lot
know.
of
No, it hasn't been revealed. It
She's
hasn't
an
been
election
revealed.
denier. She's an election
Oh,
denier.
no. This is not, that's like saying Elizabeth Warren is actually Native American.
No, but I'm saying if it came out to
She's
be,
Native American.
if it came out to be, I believe it.
1,024% Native American. She's not. That does not mean.
No, I'm saying like Carrie Lake, she got a little. She might have a little black in her. She might have a little black in her. Okay,
Oh
just
my
a little bit.
gosh.
Just a little bit.
No.
She might be the mannequin or something.
I
Just
refuse
like
to
niggas.
say
Jason.
I would never
Auntie
let no.
haircut?
She's not allowed. She's not allowed.
Yeah, she has an auntie haircut.
So here's the real
I
question,
can
right?
believe it, Joe. I can believe it.
I have two.
Yes.
Both of them are true. Like,
Algeria.
they're taking I guess they
Because
still,
she outcried when she was talking about her cope speeches. This is the part that screwed me up and made me unthink about it. She started bringing up how like Republican, like there's like this scheme about like people targeting her and like for racism and stuff, and that she's being like a target for racism. And then my ears like, huh? Why would Oh, and that's how I got. That's what dived me in. That's what dived me in. I'll post the article.
I mean, it makes sense if she's like Algerian, if she's like North African, and like technically she, is of African descent, but she doesn't have the pigmentation because of the the lighter skin tone of like the Berbers and stuff like that. So it could be like people are kind of doing that kind of like shadow racism bullshit where they're like, oh, you're African but you're not black, and so they still kind of like throw those shitty stereotypes at you. Like I've kind of encountered that stuff myself. It's kind of like that weird line with, like, the light skin thing that I don't fucking like.
Yeah, because
I've
like
got
what
three,
struck me is that she
I'm
called
good.
Katie Hobbs a racist and a coward. I'll put the video in the thing. It's like, why is a white woman accusing another white woman of racist, calling her racist and a coward? You're a Republican. What's going on here?
Yeah, as the lightest skin one here, I can understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, she be looking mad auntie-ish.
Oh,
Anyway,
but I was
sorry.
saying, I have like three conspiracy theories. All of them are actually true, but like the conspiracy part is like I believe that they're more true than like what came out to actually be true.
There's more details that we're not seeing.
Yeah, I think number one is I think COINTELPRO's hand in like the 60s was a lot wider spread than like it makes it out to be. They say they're like, oh yeah, we just had like one or two guys like who happen to be members of who happen to be members of Black Panther chapters. But I'm like, no, I think that COINTELPRO literally like navigated the demise of like every black leader during the 60s.
Yeah, do you know what the Contras are?
What?
The Contras. You ever heard the phrase?
Iran Contra?
No, I have no idea what that word means.
Like America has had a long history of directly undermining social movements, not only here but like all around the
Oh
world.
God.
That's
Oh
like
God. Never mind. You're good. You're good. I'm sorry. When you went across the world, I just thought we was finna go like I thought we was finna do Cuba, and I didn't feel like doing Cuba. My bad.
Why don't you feel like doing Cuba? I mean, like like we directly tried to fucking overthrow their government like what 4 times?
Listen,
So there was a deeper conspiracy that I heard that went along with the Iran Contra. So not only did the U.S. government supply the means to Rick Ross to create crack cocaine, well, the formula to get it done to teach to the inner city gangs that were going to be spreading it, but also dropped random gun drops throughout the hood.
Oh,
It's like
that's
conspiracy,
another one.
like,
I
I don't
definitely
know if
believe
you
that.
know this, but the military actually has a NATO shipping code for cocaine. I had to memorize this shit during one of my classes I was taking. Like there is like actual we have protocols and names for all of this shit. This isn't like conspiracy theory. We just did. Like the CIA directly sold drugs across the I think in Afghanistan from the poppy fields there, as well as Colombia and like 2 other countries I can't remember off the top of my head, that they directly sold to people in America to fund their clandestine operations.
So okay, just to provide a little context, shipping codes for everything, so you always know what is in the package without actually writing on the package is in the package, so you can have more discreet shipping. Therefore, you just put a number, and the number is typically more so just known in-house. It's just with recent years, more information became public, so more people would know publicly. But 9 out of the 10, most people will not know like a NATO shipping code because people just don't care to read. But that's why those shipping codes exist. Everything's coded in the military. Everything has a number. Everything has a name.
Yeah,
Everything has an acronym. That's just how it is.
yeah. I'm not disagreeing with that, but like it seems very sketch that like we would have these codes for these things and then like also be conveniently around so many of these transactions. Like
So here's the thing, like if you bust in on somebody, right, and like let's just use the poppy for example. Okay, you're busted in on terrorists, right? You know what I'm saying? They have poppy. You confiscate the item. You can't keep it there with you. You
so I
have to
wouldn't
ship it off.
destroy it.
But no, not necessarily, no, because it's part of the evidence. Because if you captured them, you're gonna use it in your case against them.
Wait,
Therefore,
I'm confused. Hey, quick question. So just to like make sure I'm getting following what you're saying. If you're in Afghanistan, why would you need to confiscate their poppy?
you would look. So you would capture them in any relevant stuff to prove their criminal enterprise and how they were doing what they were doing. Like for instance, if you were funding your operation through poppy, cool, we've confiscated the poppy to prove that you do have enormous sums of poppy that would not be used for human consumption. An individual, like
Yeah,
that's
I
why
get
they
what
confiscated it
you're
to prove their case later on. I'm playing like, but I'm just saying that's why the code exists. That's what they did. Now, what they did with the poppy, the cocaine, and all that stuff afterwards, whatever happened afterwards was a whole nother thing. I'm not disagreeing with you that possibly did not happen. I'm saying the codes exist because when you have a new item and you have to put it on the inventory, somebody has to assign it something. So then it's logged by number and it's classified. So it's not reading. We have 22 metric tons of cocaine. No, you say we have 2 metric tons of 1107254. Like, okay, instead of saying we have all that cocaine.
I mean, I'm not
When you
just
go when you have the manifesto and you go sit that down somewhere and it sits there. It's not reasonably accessible to just the average person that picks up the document and go, okay, that's where the cocaine is, and then they stored the cocaine over here, this particular warehouse. Okay, I'm finna go get that cocaine. Like it's for security purposes as well. Like if you just see, oh, they have 22 metric tons of whatever 54. Damn, I wonder what that is. You're not gonna waste your time to go over there to the warehouse on like it could be a tank.
well, yeah. I mean, like obviously, normal people don't even have access to this stuff in the first place. We're talking about like CIA storage. Like this isn't even something that I'm not disagreeing with you. By the way, I do understand it's for security purposes. I was more just pointing that correlation to say that like the CIA has had a long history of being in contact with these drugs specifically, and like
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember the article. There was like a group of papers that were released. They're been declassified over the past like 30 years. That have like direct corroborating stories of the CIA funding themselves with like cartel money. That's not like a
Don't get me wrong, bro. Like I completely agree. CIA just be doing shit. They really do. They just be doing shit. They have a blank check, and their blank check can be funded whether through them, through somebody else.
yeah. They don't have
Through
a
the taxpayers.
yeah. They don't have to have anyone to actually they have to answer to. Like they're an entirely what's the phrase?
President. That's it.
No, they don't even have to. They don't have to report.
I mean, they answer to like, kinda, but he has reasonable deniability on things so they can conduct black operations. They don't really tell him exactly everything that's going on. They just tell him enough. He's aware, saying so he's aware, so he can make a statement for political fallout if it goes bad. I'm saying like so when you have like those failed operations, what the fuck it was over there, where like what was the one? Anyway, they made a movie about it where basically like they failed to get the ambassador out or whatever it was. Like damn near everybody died, and they had to fight off all those people while on the rooftop at the embassy.
Oh, the one about the evacuation.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. I forget what that movie
Or
is.
Benghazi, whatever. But
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Something to
Well,
that effect.
We ran out of time for this topic. For the open that we're doing here. Yeah. Bam and Joe, where'd you guys go?
Oh crap! I did not know what came out. I'm
So,
still here.
I was just.
Yeah, your camera's been like doing that, like going black. I thought you knew that. All right.
No, I'm sorry. I just had to switch a band-aid. So.
Sure. All right. Joe doing gore on my stream. I see it. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys at home are having a good time. This was a bit different, like doing this kind of open thing.
I think it worked.
And I thought it was a bit fun. But okay, so
It's like herding cats.